Are you ready? Today we're uncovering spy secrets. Viktor has to pass through an X-ray machine to clear his. Finally, the old man stops worrying. The trio at the airport turns into a quartet. One day, the supervisor, as usual, monitors Viktor and is shocked to find Viktor owns $19 IOLI, more than him. The supervisor was fuming inside, wanting to kick Viktor out right away, but nobody wanted to deal with this hot potato. So he locked Viktor in the holding room. It was the day of the big boss inspection, and if all went well, Viktor could get promoted to chief. The supervisor was with the inspection team, and everything seemed fine until suddenly the head guard rushed over, saying there was an agitated Eastern European passenger upstairs. The passenger pointed a knife at himself to avoid detention for seeking help. What a desperate move. But with the language barrier, the supervisor had no choice but to let Viktor out as the translator, and the passenger demanded a stamp from the supervisor, who begrudgingly agreed. Just when they thought it was all settled, Viktor and the passenger seemed to be on the same wavelength, calming each other down. The supervisor told him he needed a permit to take the medicine, only to find out it was the father's life-saving meds. The man was suddenly at a loss as to what to do. In the face of his desperate pleas, the supervisor still callously refused him, leaving him stranded in that very spot. Viktor felt powerless, watching the man being taken away, until suddenly he told the supervisor the meds were for goats. The supervisor looked confused, so Viktor had to mime it out. The passenger was still baffled, and the supervisor reluctantly handed over the med. Viktor had successfully tricked the man, but the supervisor was about to blow a gasket, yanking Viktor aside and asking, "Do you think this is a game? You think I want you sitting there for 5 years? Not a chance. Look at my tragic fate. Does anyone know if I can get through this in one piece?" The supervisor was losing his cool watching Viktor's reaction. "Don't think about escaping. I'm coming with you for the emergency interrogation. I'm not joking. Do you really think you can escape this nightmare? Absolutely impossible. If it were that easy, I'd take you to military service and follow behind the U.S. You'd understand how it goes." People are waiting for the red kitchen towels for the party, while Uncle's third cousin plays the tune with the fishbone knife. Viktor hadn't realized that the old man was happily recounting his heroic deeds. The next day, Viktor noticed that everyone's attitude towards him had flipped, like he was on a different planet. Stores were plastered with his heroic. In reality, the supervisor's process was fine, but the chief said rules are rigid, and people need empathy. What he really needed was to learn these things from Viktor, more importantly, to stop being such a hard-hearted supervisor. In the end, the supervisor, feeling quite reluctant, called Viktor over. Viktor had prepared a gift to cater to his liking, but the supervisor clearly wasn't going to let him off the hook. "America, do you get what I'm trying to say?" "Yes, you surely know what I mean." Viktor didn't care at all. That night, a friend found the flight attendant's info. They planned a romantic meet-up for him. When the pretty flight attendant entered the lobby, Viktor had walked into a clever trap. First, the delivery guy blocked his path, forcing him to change direction, and just a bit further, there was a janitor waiting for him. Finally, the baggage handler blocked his way, and just like that, Millie and Viktor had their perfect encounter. Viktor seized the moment to invite Millie to dinner. The receptionist janitor became the personal host. This was indeed a one-of-a-kind candlelit dinner. The baggage handler became a waiter, the delivery man a bartender, and the janitor performed, heating up the vibe. Millie secretly knew all along, but chose not to call it out. She told Viktor that although she looked young, she was already 39. She started in the business at 18, and met someone 7 years ago, keeping in touch, hence the pages she always carried. She spent half her life being at someone's beck and call, with no fixed home, numb to reality. Suddenly, the pager went off, and Millie had to cut the date short, rushing out to explain her circumstances. But before she could say much, her pager went off again. She couldn't help but wonder, "Are you sure?" Viktor was resolute, sure of it more than anything. He left a cliffhanger for their next meeting. Viktor posed the question, what gift did Napoleon give Joseph after conquering Bavaria? As he reached to shake hands, Millie planted a sweet kiss on him. That evening, Viktor arrived at a run-down restaurant, pondering when a light bulb went off in his head. He decided to gift Millie again. While modifying, the delivery guy approached him with an important task. This time he had an added ring. I must work, so what will you do? The delivery guy finally got his wish for visa. They completed a wedding at the airport, and 13 days later, Millie was stopped by security as she entered. The supervisor wanted to know what was in the jar Viktor was holding, trying to get answers from Millie. But Millie only knew it was a gun of peanuts and even informed the supervisor about Viktor's situation. Millie felt uneasy. Viktor returned to the lounge, disappointed, having not waited for her. However, she didn't realize that Millie had been waiting right behind her, ready to tell Viktor that she was done with the other man. Yet, this made Millie lose trust in Viktor, but she thought, what is it that I really want? Fortunately, she remembered she had a gift for him, and Viktor led her to it. In reality, after Napoleon conquered Bavaria, it led to an unforgettable day beyond all.